Does getting a day job mean giving up on your dream?
Can you repeat?
Does getting a day job
Yeah.
mean giving up on your dreams?
No. It doesn't, but it depends what is the motivation. So the answer to this question is why are you getting a day job?
Mm-hmm.
So what motivates you to get a day job? And day job, what does it mean? So you can work at night, you can work in the afternoon, you can work on Sunday. I mean, day job. But I understand that when you say day job, you mean it's like the typical 9 to 5 job. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if 9 to 5 job is the summarization of your highest joy, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. It seems like most of the time people choose to have a job, whether it's a day job or it's whatever job in whatever format you choose to address it. It is motivated mostly from the idea of survival and the idea of scarcity. So that means that somehow we have in ourselves this program that says that only if I get a job I can survive, meaning only if I do something that fit the conventional mainstream way to operate, I can make it. Because, and even that, what does it mean, make it? What do you have to make? That too is an illusion. So I would say that you can first address your dream and really go deep into your dream and sort out all the layers that make a distinction between the dream that comes from joy and the dreams that come from fear. And once you sort it out and you identify your real dream, which is the one that comes from joy, because anything that is fear is an illusion, does not exist. So once you identify your true dream, which is basically your natural state of being, your natural way to express, and usually is very creative, meaning that it always takes you to do things, even ordinary, simple things, but in a very unique way, because now you are doing it through your joy, and when you do it through your joy, you are very creative. I don't think you can do something with joy without being creative.
Well,
Because
what about people that are working, for example, in emergency situations in hospitals, or that's not really joyful?
well, no, it can be. It can be that you are one of those people that you really have the joy of fixing a certain situation, like could be a mutilated body that is being crushed in a car, and you really have this genuine ability and gift to support that, to take care of that, to help that. So any job, it's right, it's wonderful, it's magical, as long as it's coming from your joy, not from your fear, right? And that's already it's a very we are living in a reality that is so where we all are so dissociated that already identifying what is our joy and what is not, that's already very difficult, because we are so confused with programs and with all kind of all kind of data that comes to us that tell us what is right and what is wrong, and most of this information take us away from our true So in order to answer this question, we first have to go back to our source. We have to connect with our true self. So we have to eliminate all the layers of fake second-hand information that we talk in without even questioning them, and peel off all the stuff and go to our core, and then from there, once we identify the dream, then we will know if the dream can be a day job or not, right? Now, this is a process that can take time. It depends how passionate you are about life. The more passionate you are with life, the less time it will take, because when you focus your attention passionately about something, things move much faster. So it might take a long time before you get to that. In the meantime, when you choose a job and just observe yourself and ask your questions. The question that nobody ever asks, that very few people ask when they take a job, because again they are motivated by the scarcity and the survival mechanism. So it's all based on fear, their choice. So they never ask important question that where the person asks when he's high conscious, when he's 100% in his own responsibility and his own connection with life. The question is, okay, I am working for this office or for this corporation, and I'm giving my energy every day, so I'm validating this entity, this office or this situation. So in what way I serve and I support life and my fellow human being by validating, by giving my energy every day, 9 to 5, to this situation. In what way I am supportive life, I'm making the world better. I'm becoming better myself. And once you have the question, then when you have the answer, then you can start to modify your choices. You can still do that. If you, let's say you decide that you figure out that you're working for a corporation that is really, and most of corporations are, it's an entity that works artificially, non-emotionally, and the concern is profit at any cost, with no whatsoever concern about what is the damage is done to the human. It's all about just accumulating more and more power and money. Okay, so I just realize that every day I'm feeding this kind of machine. Now you can erase the whole thing by justifying yourself right away, and that's what most people do. Oh, I have kids. Oh, I have a mortgage. I have this. I have that, and so I need the job. It doesn't matter. But this is a big check. I need it. They pay me very well, so I don't care about what these people are doing. And that's one choice, and that there's nothing wrong. You just will live that experience, and then of course you will live the consequences of that experience, and it's not a form of punishment. It's just how it works. You get back what you give. One thing you can do once you become aware of that, you can be very drastic, as I'm leaving this job and I move towards something else. That might be a little bit too much of a quantum leap sometimes, a little bit too much, because you do have maybe kids or mortal or whatever bills to pay, and you don't want to automatically go from one situation to another. You want to go gradually maybe, but as soon as you start to be aware of the situation, now you have choices and you have responsibilities, because that's the idea. That's why we don't want to dig too deep into our stuff, because once we find out what's going on, then we have to take responsibility for that. So I'd rather to stay ignorant, to keep ignoring certain aspect of my life, because in that way I create a nice cushion. I don't know, and so I don't have to be responsible. somebody else will be responsible for me. But now we are getting into a situation where responsibility is a must. If we want to continue our journey into this physicality, we need to raise up our sense of responsibility. That means that, again, going back to the job, okay, all right, so I just figured out, I didn't realize that before, or maybe I knew it, but I was living in denial, but now I'm fully realizing that every time I go to the job, I'm feeding this banking system or this corporation system that is creating suffering for the world, or is creating pollution, or is creating separation, or diseases, right? So now I have two choices. Either I continue to work, but then I can operate as a person that start to transform darkness into light from inside out, right?
Yeah.
So I continue to do the job, but I start to work on in the degree that I can to gradually make little changes or bigger changes within the infrastructure of this corporation, so that this corporation can eventually modify his behavior and become it too more responsible. So I might be able, by being inside the corporation, to make more people aware of what we are doing, and make more people responsible, and then the corporation maybe can change. Or I can decide, no, I don't want to feed that corporation anymore. I give myself 1 year to transition into something different, which is more in line with my dream. So there is many exciting options that are available once we become more aware of the product of our choices, and where the choices are from fear or from love. And they're both valid situations. Whether you're choosing from fear or from love, both is wonderful, because once you are aware of it and you become responsible, then you can really operate in order to go to the next level. So there is nothing wrong in getting a job, a 9-to-5 job, as long as you start to become more aware of who you really are, and what are your gifts, and how you can be more supportive of life, of the world, of humanity, of the planet, and the cosmic light, which is within yourself.
Mm. Mm.